I have to say, it's nice when the NHL clarifies things after they've already happened. Wouldn't it be nice if a hurricane blew through your town and then a few days later a weatherman goes, oh, yeah, there was a hurricane? There's been some confusion about whether or not a team that loses a player to Vegas is able to trade to get that player back. And we, personally, I believed, and a number of people believed, that if you lose a player in expansion to Vegas, you can't make a trade to get that player back until January 1st of 2018. Wrong. But only kind of wrong. So, alright. If you made a trade before expansion, so if you're Montreal, say with Nathan Beaulieu, you can't get Nathan back until January 1st. But if you lost Marc Methot in expansion, and you didn't really want to lose Marc Methot, good news. You can get him back right now. And apparently the NHL just wanted to discourage players being hidden before the expansion draft. So here's what gets me. So if I'm a GM for, say, I don't know, Nashville, David Poyle, and I call up a GM from another team, say Jim Benning. You guys are probably going to lose Biza. I'll protect him. We're not going to get into who belongs to what team. That's fine. I'll protect him. I'll take care of him. After the expansion's over, I'll trade him back to you. No. But if George McPhee of Vegas calls Benning and goes, so you guys are going to lose Biza, huh? All right, give him to us. We'll trade him back to you a week after the expansion draft for a third-round pick. Done. That's fine. So according to the NHL, because expansion is all about Vegas, they're the only team allowed to take advantage of it. It's weird. Really, really weird. So now the question for me is, if Ottawa's that upset over losing Marc Methot, and it's the article, it's the headline everywhere, is Marc Methot, trade him back. If you're Ottawa, go get him. But what do you give up to get him back? Is it Clayson and a draft pick? It's not Dion. Dion Phaneuf's not going there, and apparently Ottawa's still trying to get rid of Dion Phaneuf, trying to find a taker that he's also willing to go to. Marc Methot, I know there's Canadians that are upset because he has a no-trade list that includes every other Canadian team. I get it. I don't think this is an anti-Canada thing as much as it's, if I'm going to play for a Canadian team, it's going to be Ottawa. I really do. I think he's saying, I will play, and Ottawa's not on the no-trade list. He will return to Ottawa. He has no problem with that. So, while I've seen on, I think it was a TSN article, or TSN or Sportsnet, I saw Canadians saying, oh, this Marc Methot, we're going to boo him in every Canadian arena because he doesn't want to go to all the Canadian teams. Who cares? If you're a Canadian hockey fan right now, what team do you desperately need Marc Methot on? Marc Methot is a defensive defenseman. He's a hard worker. He's a good checker, and he gets paid $4.9 million a year. So who has $5 million to spend on a defensive defenseman who's good? He's been, partnered up with Erik Karlsson for a while, and they've made a very good pairing. I just don't understand if it's this upsetting. And if Ottawa's this desperate to get him back, go get him back. I'm just kind of confused on this one. And it makes me even more confused as to why George McPhee didn't do something more. With this regulation being clarified by the NHL this morning, that's why I'm doing this video on it now. They clarified it this morning. Vegas had to know going into the expansion draft. So Vegas should have been sitting down with teams and going, we're taking this guy. If you want to discuss what to do, you'll have to talk to us after that freeze is over. Sorry, but he's ours for at least a week. So, sorry, New York, you guys don't want to lose Jason Zucker or Eric Stahl or Matt Dumba, whoever we're going to take. Sorry, you'll have to talk to us after that is over. Worst case scenario, GMs get really mad at George McPhee, and McPhee comes out of it with a really good team for Vegas. Best case scenario, he's able to flip those guys back for top draft picks and prospects. And I think a better return than what he got. I think what Vegas got in return for their players, I just don't think it was worth it. And I already scratched my head at what Vegas did in the expansion draft to start with. I've got a hockey news magazine here that I went through with you guys when I got it on the expansion draft. And I might as well cover this now because I looked at what they picked, and their expansion team looked a heck of a lot better than what Vegas actually took. I just don't get it. I don't. I don't understand what... There we go. Okay, so the Vegas draft, according to the Hockey News, they had Tyler Ennis, Jacob Silverberg, I know he was protected, Kalle Yarncroke was protected, Vlad Nemesnikov, who got protected, Radim Verbata, Joel Armia, Anthony Mantha, who got protected, Dmitry Yaskin, William Karlsson, taken, Antoine Roussel, Michael Raffel, and UC Jokinen. And also in forwards, Brett Connolly, Shane Prince, Michael Furland, Chris Tierney, Connor Brown, Nick Dowd. I know not all these guys were available, but it gets interesting. Defenseman, Jonas Brodin was protected. They would have taken Dumba instead. Alexei Emelin, Kevin Klein, who's retiring, Ian Cole, Brandon Davidson, who got traded to Montreal after this was published. John Merrill, taken. Mark Borowiczki, Trevor Van Riemsdyk, and Andre Padan. And then in net, they took Eddie Lack, Calvin Pickard, and Malcolm Subban. So yeah, no, they didn't take Marc-Andre Fleury. But their team has a cap hit of $53 million, cap space of $19.9 million, 1 UFA signed, and 18 contracts expiring after 17-18. So what did Vegas come out of this with? And it's a question I've been asking myself since the expansion draft, and especially the next day when everybody said, well, tomorrow Vegas is just going to own the yard. It's theirs. They own everything. No. They didn't. And they don't. So let me know what you guys think. What does Ottawa do to get Mathot back? Which players lost in expansion should teams go, we want that guy back, and we'll trade to get him? And if you're a Pittsburgh fan, what if Pittsburgh was able to get Fleury back? I mean, Fleury's already been out there in a Vegas jersey. He's moving to Vegas. The odds are basically nil. It's an interesting idea, though. Very interesting idea. So which players could you see getting traded back? Which players are there no chance that a team's going to want back? I'm looking at apparently Belmar out of Philly, because Philly fans were quite happy to see him go. Isn't that right, Knights? Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Beautiful, beautiful summer day out. I got these 2 weeks off. I may have to take advantage of that with Mr. Computer here. I don't have the lighting on because I don't need it right now. It's beautiful. And that lighting, that light right there, that studio light, almost killed me last night. I had it stood up, and because I have a carpet, yeah, it fell over, and I caught it out of the corner of my eye even while I was sleeping, rolled out of the way, and Yvonne actually panicked more than I did. So, because it's just this big black thing falling down on us, you know. Anyways, that was fun, but thank you very much for watching, and the lighting will likely be used for videos later. I'm not taking that with me on the road. I'm dedicated, but that's a little too much to explain to people. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.